Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new season and a brand new episode, of course, of Frozen Fortunes. Now, I've decided to do things a little bit different this summer because I felt like I could save us an episode by doing this. So instead of starting today's video on our first league game of the season, which is against newly promoted AC Horsens, I decided that we'd play that one off camera and then start today with our first Champions League game, because that's kind of why we're really here. It's only going to be the first leg in today's episode, because I feel like we should be strong enough to handle our business there and not have to worry so much about the second leg. That way we could sort of skip an episode, if you like, and still get to talk in depth about the transfers we've made. It is so hot in here, I am dying. So the first thing I did when we came to the transfer window is I decided to go and inquire and have a little look about Budimir, just to see what sort of price he would be available for. Now, obviously, he signed a new contract with Randers, so it was unlikely we were going to get him. However, I put a bid in. They want £58 million. I said no. And that basically means that we could probably get him for about 30 million. Not that I have 30 million lying around. In fact, as you can see, our bank balance only has 2 million in the bank at the moment. So we kind of need to sort ourselves out with some money soon. So a Champions League run, or at least getting to the group, that's going to be so tough, would be very, very useful. But a Europa League group stage appearance could certainly do us some good this year if we don't make it to the Champions League groups, which is going to be difficult. I did also sell David Garner's sell-on clause to the New York Cosmos for 120 grand, just to get a little bit of extra cash in the kitty at that point. Just to facilitate a few transfers. And there have been some, but not like the same amount as last summer, I don't think. It's been a little bit more muted this time. Less money as well, for a start. But we might still have more money to spend. It is only the 22nd of July. There's still a lot of stuff that could happen during this transfer window. But we have managed to hang on to the squad, which is the key thing. So as I mentioned, AC Horsens came up, along with Odense, who were champions, which meant Sunniusk and Vela actually went down. They were in the cup final, but they have been relegated. So there's that. At least two teams have actually come up this year for once. Every year we've been in the top flight. It's always been one team comes up, one team goes down. A few little awards as well. Bravo somehow won the Spring Player of the Year, despite Jonas Svenningson's absolutely absurd form. But there you go. Sveni, Bravo, and Christian Lever actually made the Team of the Year, and it's nice to see a defender in there for us. And as I said before, we did make 13th place in the UEFA coefficients, which means this year we have an extra European spot for the 5th place team. So we get 3 in the Europa League and 2 in the Champions League. It's going to be difficult, but at least it's progress. I want to start working towards getting 10th place, which gets us a guaranteed Champions League group stage spot. That's just guaranteed money. And Norway actually have that at the moment, as they're currently in 10th, which is amazing. Also, while we're on the topic of finances, our sponsors, when we came up and got a lot of sponsors, they all run out at the end of this year. So they're quite low in terms of money. They're only like 350 a year. But if we're playing Champions League football at the end of this season and we're going to get 2 new sets of sponsors, we could get some serious extra sponsorship money at the end of the season. Our stadium sponsorship money runs out soon as well, so that means we should be getting some more there. There's potential for lots of finances towards the end of this year. We could be very rich boys as long as we play our cards right. Right, let's do some transfers. There's enough of that. Let's get into what's been happening in the transfer market, because we've got some interesting ones. First of which is Javon Fullerton. He's a Jamaican right back who we've signed from Montego Bay. One of the few that I'm a little bit regretting, basically. At the time, we got him on a free, basically. I don't think we actually paid anything for the transfer, but it's the wages I'm more concerned about. That's just the problem with out of EU players. But it was just nice to have a Jamaican right back basically join us, and he had a cool name, so I figured we'd sign him up anyway. Could retrain him. He's got decent crossing. There's something there maybe, but I don't know. Maybe he's one we could loan out to some other clubs. He's already gone back on loan to his old club Montego Bay anyway, so there's that. However, what I'm much more excited about is this lad. This is Wagner. I brought him in as a sort of backup option with lots of potential. He's got that 5-star potential, which is pleasing. 2-star current ability, so not too bad. He's fairly ambitious personality-wise, so I could hopefully get him tutored. That's going to be a plan anyway, if we can find someone to tutor him, get him a little bit of a different personality, but he looks pretty decent for my money. Decent finishing. First touch isn't great. Composure is okay. Passing solid. There's some decent stats in there, and he is only 18 years old, and he's Brazilian, so I kind of like that. And yeah, I figured that he'd probably be going out on loan, but he's actually looking good enough to maybe be a sort of backup player to the first team this year and might actually get some first team appearances. As you can see from his stats down here, he's already made a substitute appearance in our first league game, which don't worry, I will show you in a minute because it was quite a fun one. Then I started getting into the depths and signing some of these regens from Eastern Europe. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But this was the first round that my scouts actually managed to find some players that were worth signing. So this is Veljko Todoric. He is a Serbian goalkeeper. We signed him for, I think, £3,000. So you can't really go wrong with £3,000. He's on £300 a week. He's driven. He's got some good stats. 20 determination is always nice to see. I've sent him back on loan to Serbia. He's going to play for Metalats. So that's going to be interesting. I tried to send him back to his old club, who were in the second tier in Serbia, but they weren't having any of it. So there you go. A young goalkeeper. I think he could be one for the future. You never know. For 3K, I wasn't going to knock it. And this is probably the largest signing we've made this summer. And annoyingly, the potential ability has now gone from 5 stars down to that. Although I'm still positive there's something we could get out of this guy. This is Jonas Simeon. He is a young Romanian right back, or right wing back particularly, as he actually can play there, which is a godsend to us. He's a right wing back that can actually play as a wing back. Decent crossing, decent-ish dribbling, a resolute personality. I think he's okay. Again, he's brought in as a backup because I do intend to play Keradin Chowie in that role this season. And Moscoot's are more of a sort of, he is still here, by the way, more of a sort of backup to Chowie. Although I do want to get Chowie on a new contract, but I just tried to offer him one, and his agent wants a non-negotiable £4.3 million release clause in the contract, and I don't know what to do about that, because I don't want to put a £4.3 million release clause in his contract. So I might have to try and find a way to get him to sack his agent so we can go again. He wants a lot of money, but I'm not having release clauses like that, because then I can't even put my own clauses in. Oh, I should note, Simeon cost us £400,000, which is quite a lot, I know, but you sometimes make little mistakes on things like that. He was rated as a 5-star potential player. We'll have to see how he goes. And the final one of these sort of signings is another one. He's a 16-year-old Bulgarian centre-back, another bit strength for the defence, just as a sort of backup with lots of room to improve in the future. This is Stanimir Terziev. He would cost us £300,000, which again, I know is a lot, but they're on low wages. They're young players who've got a lot of time to improve. We can get them out on loan, get them some football. He's not amazing yet. He's only 5'9", which is not great for a centre-back, I grant you. But I just kind of figured, I was sort of struggling to find anyone to sign. He's got good potential, that's what I will say. And we didn't have the money to go and bring in any players that were going to make the team better now. We just simply did not have the funds. And those we could have signed some African guys. Again, there was another guy I was after. He was an African right wing back who I might still go back in for. The problem was he wanted like 11 grand a week, and that's not money we have right now. But maybe if we get into the Champions League and he's still available from, I think he plays for Mamelodi Sundowns, we might go back in and get him because he looks decent. A couple of signings for the future as well. This is Antti Johansson. He is an attacking midfielder, but he can kind of play all across that area. The main reason I was interested in this guy, and he has now signed for us, but he isn't going to sign for us until the end of his contract, which is in December. He was rated at about £800,000, as you can see, but we're going to get him on a free transfer, so I couldn't really knock him. He's a fairly professional player. He's 23 years old, Finnish international. I felt it was a solid addition for free. You know, we couldn't knock a free player to give us a little bit of extra boost. You might also notice that Sergio Santos is still here. I extended his loan for another year because I thought, why the hell not? We might as well if it's going to cost us nothing. And also one more centre-back. This is Nkosi Mlamdowitz, a young South African centre-back who I think is much more promising than some of the other ones. He won't be joining us just yet either. Joins us in January. Decent heading, decent tackling, decent marking, good determination, positioning. He's 6'2". He's fairly professional. I think he could be a solid addition to the team as well. We've got a lot more strength in the centre-back areas now, as some of the players were starting to complain. We've got at least 2 or 3 options in every single centre-back role now, so that makes me happy. It's just those wing-back areas where we just need to try and find someone. I'm hoping we can do that by the end of the window. We'll have to see. Now, we did actually play our first game of the season, as I mentioned, and I did it because I figured it would be a comfortable one for us to win. I wasn't quite expecting what happened, and that was a 6-0 thumping of newly promoted AC Horsens. The problem for them was they play a very narrow system, and now with looking for the overlap and attacking wingbacks, we were able to just tear them limb from limb. Braces for Svenningsson, Bravo, and Sani Akinola all in the same game. Svenningsson was man of the match as he got an assist as well, because of course he did. It's Jonas Svenningsson, for crying out loud. They actually created 4 clear-cut chances in this game, which is amazing. Didn't put any of them in the back of the net. Could have been a bit of a different game had they done so. The red card didn't help them, but we just absolutely dominated this game, and it's a brilliant start to the season as it gives us a bit of hope. Now, we've got Champions League football to talk about, and you don't even know who we're playing yet, do you? So then, we got drawn against Skendia of No, not Macedonia. No, it is Macedonia, I think, isn't it? Let me just check. I'm pretty certain it's Macedonia. Yep, they are from the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. I feel like the reason I was comfortable in doing just the one game in this episode, being the home leg, is that I feel like we should be strong enough to comfortably maybe put 2 or 3 goals past these guys and be able to rest some players for the second leg, because of course we'll have league games in there, and I do want to try and make sure that we rest players where we can as well. Now, they've already drawn the next round of this competition too, and we'll be playing the winner of the Dundalk Dinamo Zagreb game. So you'd probably think that it's likely to be Dinamo Zagreb, which is going to be a much tougher opposition as far as Croatian oppositions go than NK Osijek were a couple of years ago, or it might have even been last year. So that's going to be difficult. The board expects us to get to the next round, so that's fine. That's where we're expected to get to. I'm fine with that. I personally think we could possibly get past one of those 2 teams. I think it'll be a struggle to get through the next round, but I believe if we were to get knocked out in that final playoff round, we would go into the Europa League group stages, and that's fine because that would still give us European football and a chance to get some wins as we build ourselves up. But I would really love to get that Champions League money this year if we could somehow pull it off. But there's a chance we could get drawn against some fairly large sides. Although, looking at it, if those are the teams that we could end up playing, Celtic, Austria Vienna, there's a chance we could maybe get Red Star still in there as well. You never know. We might get lucky this year after last year's poor luck. We also had a £1.9 million bid for Mark Yakim from Crystal Palace, which was quite a lot, but I did decide to keep him, although the board did try to sell him out from underneath me for 300k, because of course, it wouldn't be a summer without the board pulling some of that nonsense, would it? Alrighty then, let's get into the squad picking for this one. So Miguel Cruz picked up a knock in that first game, and I'm tempted to rest him for this one, just because he's only got 88% condition. So we'll probably drop Miguel Cruz out and bring someone different in. Pat Curtin, I guess, wasn't quite fit for that one, so we'll bring him back into. Amoa is under a bid from Hamburg. Don't worry, we'll sort that. He ain't going anywhere. Everyone else, though, I'm fairly confident with that team. Chowie, Rogers Jr. Chowie was superb in the first game, as was Rogers Jr. Sani Akinola really is making that role his own now. He's already scored 2 goals in the league this year. That's great. Let me just do a quick pick of the bench and see if I'm missing anyone that needs to come back in for this game. Niang, Moscuza, Santos, Fagner, Saifi, Surgord. Surgord, I'm going to be giving more game time this year. Since we're going to have to rotate, he's going to find himself in the team more, and I like that. I'm thinking maybe using him as a Metsala when he does play, though, because he just doesn't really fit, and I haven't seen the analysis here where you guys give me advice on that, so that's what I'll do in the meantime. Johnny Iya, we did actually have a bid for Johnny Iya, and I nearly thought about selling him, and I'd still be tempted, frankly, to move him on if a decent bid comes in, because we've got Fagner and Mark Yakim on the, I don't know if I could call him Yakim or whatever, on the bench now, and I want to see what they can do this year. Right then, opposition reports. Very important thing to do right now is to check. See, this is what I mean. This is kind of similar to the system that AC Horsens played, except they had a player here and then moved him across. So they do have a deep line playmaker. All we're going to do is mark the crap out of him and then just exploit these wide areas. We should be able to do a similar job as we did on Horsens in the last game if we play the same way. I'm confident about this. Let's get into it. Okay, well, first thing that's good to see is they've got injuries and players that aren't even fit. So there's that. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because they could still pull an upset on us. And if we can get ourselves 2 or 3 goals up, that's what I'm hoping. Then, in fact, I might even be tempted to start by pushing them straight onto the overlap now, just because these guys are going to have the free reign of the wing, basically. And I want to allow them to do that from the very beginning of the game. I don't see any reason why not to. Yeah, let's get into this. So, question of the day. Today's question is this. What is the worst team you've managed on FM, i.e. lowest level, terrible players? I guess you could argue B67 starting from this save, although I actually wonder if it's that team from Cyprus that we managed in Outcast to Icons. I think it was Achironis. Svenningson's through and he should have scored inside 2 minutes there. Yeah, it's probably either Achironis of Cyprus or Zuriek of Malta when we managed there. Those are pretty low down the totem pole, so to speak. So yeah, let me know the worst or lowest team you've ever managed on FM and how did it go? And if you have any ideas for a question of the day, drop those in the comments too with the hashtag QOTD. We've got a lot of possession so far in the opening 10 minutes of this game, but no goals yet. Bit of a worry. Shishi over the crossbar. That's a fine position for him to be shooting from. We're going to get a lot of the ball in this game. We've just got to keep going. We just got to keep pressing them and hope that something happens for us. If we could get, I would settle for 2-0 really. It would just get us through, and that's kind of what we really want here. Could look across the pitch maybe. Curtin might. Someone needs to find Rogers Jr. here. There we go. Can he get a good touch and a cross? Takes a good touch ball in. Not quite. Comes back to him again though. Back post for Chowie. He's making his way in there brilliantly. Chowie pulls it across. Oh! Rogers Jr. for the shot, maybe. Oh, he's hit the post, I think. Yes, he has. Right, okay, the pressure is starting to mount on them a little bit now. That's better. Might actually up the tempo a little bit. Try and play through them a tiny little bit quicker for the rest of this first half. Drop it back down in the second half and see what we can come up with. As long as we can get the lead, then I'll be pretty confident. I don't see them scoring today, so... Oh, good lord. Juan, come on, man. Too many long shots today. What is happening? Ball downfield. Caught by Shishi, of course. Rogers Jr. into the channel for Bravo. Can he square it? Well, he can, but he hasn't. Bravo. Oh, he's put it in the back of the net. Finally there. B67-1, Skenjinil, Mariano Bravo with the goal, Juan Shishi with the assist. We've made it hard work for ourselves in this opening moments of the game. Few little opportunities there. Players just not quite syncing up the way you would have liked. Bravo did the right thing. Svenningson couldn't quite get there. Great work from Juan Shishi to pick him out, though. And that is a lovely finish from Mariano Bravo. 3rd goal of the season for him in all competitions. Lovely old job. We've got the lead. That's what I wanted to see. I feel like there could be quite a lot of highlights in this game, as I feel like we're probably going to end up with like 30 shots come the end of this one. But as long as we get 2 or 3 of them in the goal, I'll be fine. Bravo, he's through. Squares it. Svenningson. Oh, headers it just wide. Chowie with the ball at his feet. Could look for Svenningson into that channel. He's going to go alone, which is fine. Now finds Svenningson. Can he pick a cross out? Ball in. Rogers Jr. And Akinola puts it in the net for 2-0 to B67. That should be good night, Irene, as they say. Lovely work from Svenningson and Chowie on the wing. Great work from Carl Rogers Jr. as well, winning that header. And Akinola now grabbing his 3rd goal of the season. I think this could be a good goal-scoring year for him. This is great work from Rogers Jr. as well, just knocking that down. Beautiful on the volley. 2-0. Game over, hopefully. And we just need to get a couple more maybe to make the second leg very comfortable. Careful here. Oh, what about that from Shishi? I want to see some good defensive performances today as well. Chowie out on the wing. What's he got? Take his man on perhaps. Back post. Bravo! Oh, that was a good chance for Bravo. It could have been 3 right there. Good lord. The amount of highlights this game is generating. Literally every time they kick the ball up the pitch, we're getting another highlight. This is astonishing. We're putting a lot of pressure on them, that's for sure. Bravo. Can he get the cross in? Does. Chowie! It's 3-0 and Keradine Chowie. That might well be his first. No, it's not his first goal, is it? It's 3-0 and we've scored 3 in quick succession, and that should really be the tie. This game is turning into a bit of a rout already. Half an hour gone. We've already had 15 shots, and this is a great ball from Bravo. All the way across the box. Chowie making the back post run. It's 3-0, and that's it. And straight from kickoff, another highlight. God, we'll end up putting like 10 goals past them at this rate. I kind of figured we'd get a couple on the night. I wasn't expecting it to be quite as good as this, but hey, we did win our last game 6-0 over Hobro, to be fair, so we've clearly got it in us. And Svenningson's got some pace here, you know. He's found his man, finds Bravo, and it was very nearly 4-0 straight right there. What about this? We're not done yet, though. You can feel that we're not done in this game yet. I would settle for actually, now that we're 3-0 up, 4 or 5 would just make it completely impossible for them in the second leg. Not that it's looking that possible anyway, but it would really mean that I could play an entirely rested side and maybe have a better chance at one of the league games in there. Bravo. Can he take his men on? He's got 3 men around him. Back post. Svenningson, and it's in the back of the net. It's 4-0. Bravo with the assist. Svenningson with the goal. This is good for confidence. I know it feels like we're whipping a dead horse a little bit here, and we absolutely are. But it's the fact that getting confidence in players scoring goals is better than players not scoring goals. What a ball from Bravo. And Svenningson with the header this time. And now he's got his goal for the day. That's good too. Can he start to stretch his legs a little? Other good thing about that guy on the bench, Fagner, is he actually is a left-footed player. Which means we'll put him in Bravo's position if we find ourselves in that situation as Svenningson's shot is saved. What a first half. 4-0 up. About as comfortable as it's ever going to be in a game for us, to be honest. We could have 8 goals in this match. Maybe we should go and get them. I'm actually tempted in the second half to remove Mariano Bravo, keep his legs fit, and actually try Fagner out, because he is a bit more target man-y. He's not that much worse in many positions, but he is also taller. And better in the air, so we're winning a lot of crosses, so maybe let's try that some more. Wouldn't mind giving the lad his Champions League debut. Bravo's been excellent anyway. He's got a goal and 2 assists in that first half. Might as well give him a little bit of a rest. Svenningson, I want to see a tiny little bit more out of, so maybe if he grabs another goal, then we'll bring on Yakim for the last moments of the game. And already getting straight in there. I might actually go to lower tempo in this second half, just to bring things down and make them a little bit slower, try and make the most of our chances when we find them. Fagner, Shishi's got to take the shot on. Go on, Juan. Around the post. Zayn with the free kick over the bar. Right, 60 minutes. Let's make some subs. Get these final 2 substitutions made now, just to freshen things up a little bit. I'm thinking Surgord into the middle for maybe get him in for him and then move him over as a Metsala. I don't think you can play them on attacking. Oh, yes, you can. Right, cool. Might as well put them on attacking at this point. And we're also going to get Yakim on for Svenningson, just to save some legs for the final half an hour. See if Yakim and Fagner can come up with anything themselves, with Surgord getting some more game time. It's never a bad thing for the lad. I think he genuinely could be really good. Rogers Jr. Ball back post. Yakim! Oh, it's hit the post. Straight into the game, straight into the goal nearly. I would like one more goal just for the sake of completing the route, so to speak, and getting that second half performance on the books. 4-0, we're comfortably going to win the second leg too, I would have thought, but it gives us that cushion to allow us to completely change the team for that game. Chowie. Ball in again. Fagner at the back post. Knocked down. Surgord! Round the post. And Peter Surgord nearly got his first goal for us. Shishi. Rogers Jr. again. It goes for goal this time. And Safer can't even keep it out there. Akinola tracking all the way back. Chowie. Runners into the channel. Here we go. Surgord making the run. That's great. Ball in. Fagner! And it is 5-0. Fagner with the goal. Peter Surgord with the assist. I tell you what, right? Something I don't see the likes of Zaym and Shishi doing that often is what Surgord does here. He makes that run into the... almost makes a third striker, just occasionally. He did this in the last time I played him too. Whips a beautiful ball in. Fagner gets his first Champions League goal for us, and it's 5-0 on the night. Beautiful. Don't let them have the away goal. Come on, lads. Oh, good lord. Very nearly an own goal by Christian Laver. Come on, lads. Don't do that. God, they've got another chance here. Curtin does well. Right, here we go. Breakaway time. It's a free kick to us, apparently. And now Murati's about to get sent off. Oh, wait. What? Oh, apparently he wasn't. Surgord's ball in. And it is now a penalty to us, and Fagner's going to take the penalty as well. This is going to be a good debut for him in the Champions League if he comes in here and scores. Well, he's already scored 1. He makes it 2. and it's an easy save for Safer. We should really be 6-0 up on the night, but there you go. Fagner with a poor penalty. Bravo would have scored that, no doubt, but you can't win them all. That's a shame. Shishi, maybe he'll have one last crack at it. Oh, goes back post instead. Curtain, and it's well saved. We've taken our foot off the throttle a lot in the second half, but we've got ourselves a goal. We missed a penalty as well. It's 5-0. We're comfortably heading through to the next round of the Champions League, which gives us a chance to rest players in that leg, give players like Fagner and Yakim a chance to have a run out, maybe start Surgord in that game as well. Give him some extra football, and there you go. 5-0 to B67. I know we're whipping a team from Eastern Europe who clearly aren't that great, but it's still good to get goals and good to get chances created and confidence in the players. It always helps. Keradine Chowie was actually man of the match in this game. That's just how good he's been in the opening 2 games of the season. Rogers Jr. has been super lime as well. And Dundalk actually got a 2-2 draw at home to Zagreb. It's still going to be tough for them, really, with that. They actually came from 2-0 down, though, to be fair to them. So there's still a chance, but it's unlikely. It's almost certainly the next episode is going to be 2 games against Dinamo Zagreb. So there we have it. We've actually won our first 2 games of the season, 6-0 and 5-0. If we can put 4-0 past Silkeborg in the next game to make things really tasty, then that would be very, very nice. So in the next episode, we're going to come through. So we're going to be doing the 2 legs against most likely Dinamo Zagreb in the next episode. Off camera, we've got Silkeborg, Skendia, the away leg. We'll just rest the team and see how many goals we can score. Then Midtjylland away. Depending on how close that game is to the game against Zagreb, I might rest players for the Midtjylland game and just see how we can do. Because those are going to be the off-camera games. Then we'll come back for the double header against Zagreb because things are going to start to get very, very interesting in this one. We're scoring goals, which is nice, but we really need to see how we do against a bigger opposition like a Zagreb. If we get through that round, I will be incredibly pleased. The next episode is really the key one. This one was just a sort of a warm-up. But if you have enjoyed this episode and you're looking forward to our first season in the Champions League, do let me know and drop a like on the video. That would be dope. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And I will join you guys in the next episode for a double header, very likely against Zagreb. Now I've said that, we'll probably end up playing against Dundalk, and I don't mind if that's the case. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.